forfeiture is not a fine. It is not a fine.
Okay.
It's a
Forfeiture is
tool.
not fine.
Is not a fine. It's a tool to deprive the criminal from enjoying the benefits of his criminal activities. Is to deprive him, to stop him from enjoying his illegal acquired wealth. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The EFCC official trying to explain what forfeiture means. In her own understanding, it's a way of stopping a criminal from enjoying the proceeds of his crime. No matter how you explain what forfeiture means, it's still the same thing. It's a fine, as described already by our own Supreme Court and the United States Supreme Court. Even the literal meaning of forfeiture, it still means losing something as a form of punishment or penalty. So what it means is that the meaning of forfeiture is universally accepted. We accept the meaning in Nigeria, security agencies accept the meaning, even in the United States, everywhere. So no one can come and tell us, no, it means a different thing, or that the Constitution says it says that there's a time limit, that it didn't happen. Now, since forfeiture means a fine for wrongdoing or criminal activity, was Tinubu fined in the United States? Yes, he was fined. He's not in contention. In fact, his lawyers accepted in court that he was fined. They were only arguing that he didn't do time, that the US authorities just took $460,000 being proceeds of narcotics trafficking from his account, that he never went to prison, he was never convicted. Before we answer this, let's see Mohammed Abacha's case. He didn't do time, he didn't go to prison, but monies and property belonging to the Federal Republic of Nigeria were recovered from him. You see, sometimes in litigations, when you are looking for money that belongs to the state, take for instance, you are looking for $1 million that someone stole or out of negligence, whatever, you want to recover that money. You don't want to spend excessive amounts of money in litigation, in court cases, in order to recover that money. You need to look at it from the business angle. The less money you spend pursuing the $1 million, the more you gain and recover for the country. So the prosecutors in Mohammed Abacha's case just had to focus on the money. They just had to recover it while spending the least amount possible. Just like what happened to Emefiele when he was suspended as the CBN governor. The SSS had to fly him to Abuja on a private jet. How much does it cost to charter a private jet to fly someone to Abuja? Let's even assume they were so much in a hurry to move him to Abuja. At the end of the day, they didn't even charge him the next day or in 2 days. It took them 6 weeks after many court orders and uproar from people. What about what they eventually charged him for? They didn't charge him for anything they were accusing him of doing all the time, even when Buhari was still there. They once accused him of sponsoring IPOB and all sorts of things. At the end of the day, look at what they charged him for. That he owns a gun without a license. Laughable. Even at that, the court still gave him bail of 20 million naira. But instead of allowing due process and obeying the court order, they still took him with them. And they now went back to court to apply for 14 days more to detain him. The court rightly refused. You have detained someone for 6 weeks. It's not enough. You couldn't do any investigation even before arresting the person. While in detention for 6 weeks, you couldn't do any investigation to charge him. So it shows that they are just after something. They want to force him to resign, but he doesn't want to. According to the law, to remove a central bank governor, you have to get 2/3 in the National Assembly to remove him. So if Tinubu truly wants to remove Emefiele as the current CBN governor, he should go to the National Assembly. Let him get 2/3 there and remove him. Otherwise, the law still recognizes him as the current central bank governor until his tenure expires in 2024.